stock.
Sweet.
OC.
All right. Yeah, that's solid. Yeah.
Good time, though. 1 hour, 20 minutes.
Wow. That's it?
That's all it says, yeah.
Huh.
I can't shave any more off that for you. Sorry about that.
That's all right.
Hey, congratulations, first of all.
Thanks.
Came in, beautiful performance today. Now, you're a Tahoe North Shore boy. How was the course? How was the layout? Tell us about the Nalu and how it's treated you so far.
It was a straight-up paddle course, no question. Not any bump out there. I was really hoping, being on my outrigger today, that I could utilize a little bit of the boat chop, just because with a hull that's 21 feet long, you can really get the speed and get in those the troughs of the boat chop. But we had nothing. Ernie changes the course because of the wind, makes it a very scenic course,
sure.
Which was nice going into Crystal Bay. Beautiful spot, but definitely a paddle course, and I think it played out really well. I'm stoked.
What's your take on the course? Now, they changed it, went east this year. Last year it went west. This year they changed it up due to the wind. Then we have no wind.
Yeah.
I mean, what's your take? Which direction you like better?
I like the Donner Lake, the Dollar Point run for sure. We get a predominant southwest wind, and that's where Dollar Point is. So and there's a lot of boat chop out there opposed to in Crystal Bay. Crystal Bay is a beautiful, beautiful bay. It's one of the deepest bays. It is the deepest bay in Lake Tahoe. So it's got a lot of history there. But I like the Dollar Point run. It's straight. You go out, you come back, you can see where you're coming back the whole time, and there's typically a little bit of more runner out there to spice things up because it's a dead flat day today. So it was, like I said, paddler's course.
Now talk about that. You guys disappeared as soon as you went around the point. What happened on the other side there? Do we miss any kind of action out there in front with all you guys and the outriggers?
No, for the outriggers, not really.
Not really?
The 6-man that we put out there, I was racing that, just trying to stay as close to them as I could. But there was a race behind me for sure between second, third, fourth, and fifth with Rukin and Rand and Doug and Greg Wright and Charlie Banfield. So there was a race for sure, and I was peeking behind just to see what was going on. And I had a little bit of a lead, so I was able to paddle pretty comfortably. But I was stoked to see the overall come through, being that all those guys are my buddies. But Rukin from Big Island, who's working for me at Waterman's Landing right now this summer, he trains with me 3 or 4 days a week. So to see him come through, I was stoked for him for sure.
Let's talk about your trading technique. That was my next question for you. You led right into it perfectly.
There we go.
Not only does it deal with paddling, you do a lot of on the beach type.
Yeah. We actually this year we have this beach called Moon Dunes up here on the North Shore, and Anik and I we've been talking about doing a workout there for years, and finally she just was like, in spring, she's like, this is the day, Wednesday morning, 7 o'clock, the whole summer, we're knocking it out. So it's good. It's a very lifeguard-ish style of workout where I set up a 150-meter beach run up a dune, and then it goes into a 880 meter stand-up paddle course or OC, and then we got a 150 meter swim course, and then we have another 600 meter paddle course, which we're typically doing it on prone boards.
Sure.
And I basically set the clocks in 60 minutes, and however many rounds you can complete in 60 minutes. And then for fun, we'll just throw out like, okay, who can paddle out to that, or hold their breath this long, and just who can. It's just fun, and we've had great crowds, always over 10 people.
Nice.
I think the max we've had is 18 people. We got Trent Carter who won the kids race today. He's been out there 7 a.m. 11 years old with his dad Rand, and he jumped off the board today in third and ran through the water, and I was like, we do that on Wednesday mornings. Like that right there, I was so stoked for him. Like I had chills. I mean, I was getting emotional when I saw him cross the line, but he puts in the work, and like I said, we've had up to 18, always have over 10 people. 7 a.m. Wind, rain, shine, it doesn't matter. We've hit like 13 weeks in a row, and it helps a lot. And it helps with me as well, just keeps me focused, because I haven't really been able to train as much as I'd like to this year just because work's been so busy. So at least that day I know I'm out there.
How do you do it? I mean, you balance being an athlete, a father, a husband, and a couple business owners. How do you do all that?
I'm learning really quickly how to do it, and I can't answer that. It's trying to balance communication with my wife Anik, and luckily her parents are in town from Quebec for the summer, so they help out with Jackson a lot. And I've got a great staff at Waterman's Landing and a great staff at the Apex Bungee and North Star. And but to be honest, my training is the one that's been sacrificed more than anything else. So try and eat healthy and get some sleep when I can. And but when it comes down to it, my businesses are my future in raising my family and doing all of that. Paddling is a passion. So I'll just continue to paddle when I can, and when I'm older, then I'll just sit back and go, yeah, I made it all happen.
Well, I'll tell you what, you got a long, long future ahead of you here. Coming in first in the outrigger, obviously, in the OC1. What's next for you? What's next on the agenda from a competition standpoint? Besides
the Tahoe Nalu finishing this out, next weekend we have Battle of the Bay in San Francisco, which we're really excited for. And then right after that, the 24th, 25th, we've got outrigger racing in South Lake Tahoe here. And then the weekend after that, we've got August 31st is my Tahoe Waterman race at Waterman's Landing, which is pretty much the same course that we run on Wednesday morning workouts. Gotcha. So running, swimming, prone paddleboarding, and stand-up. And then after that, I've got Catalina 9-man outrigger race. And then after that, I go to Quebec for a week and a half, and then come back for the 22-mile race. And then I go to the Paddle to Paddle.
And he's got it all right here. He got it all right here.
I told you, it's a balancing act.
Yeah, you didn't have to whip out like an iPhone or anything like that.
Yeah, I may have a couple of those dates wrong, but I know I'm traveling a little bit coming up in the next 2 months.
Well, we're excited for you now. You got the Sup Relay coming up here just in the next few minutes, which I know you got to run off to. How's your team look?
Oh, we're looking pretty solid, really. I mean, we're looking kind of old, to be honest with you. The Hobie team is fantastic athletes, but you've got Colin, who surfs more than he does anything else at this stage, which is fantastic. And Byron Kurt, we all know who he is with his high-strung temperament, but awesome paddler. But he's old, and I'm no spring chicken anymore. But then I think the glue is my wife. Yeah, Anik's on our team. She's solid. So we're excited to go out there and have a good time with it. So we'll see what happens.
Hey, Jay, congratulations. Finished first in the outrigger canoe one-person category today, so congratulations to that. We'll see how you shape up. Now, tomorrow, are you going to race the 4-miler?
I'll be in the elite race tomorrow.
Right on.
Yeah, try and knock it out, Survivor Series. Yeah,
take home the big check.
We'll see what happens.
Wishing you luck,
There's
sir.
some big boys out here right now.
Boy, there is. I mean, if you had to, let's talk about the elite race real quick before we let you go. What athletes you looking at?
You can't count out Chase. He's the man. We battled hard last year in this race, and I had a slight edge on him at the end. But obviously, George from Tahiti, I mean, he's a legend in the outrigger world. I mean, I look at him and I'm just like, whoa, But there's, I guess, Jake Jensen's here. Yeah. He's a Fanatic guy now and from Australia. And there's some local heroes up here, too, that are going to put a lot of effort into it. And like I said, the guys up here have been training. So, but yeah, I think those three are definitely on the radar, but not counting anybody out whatsoever.
Perfect. Well, wishing you luck tomorrow for the big money. Jay, thanks for taking the time to join us.
Thanks for having me.
See you in the relay here, quick.
Absolutely, yeah. Might be starting right now.
We're going to go over to Andre right now, who has an exclusive interview. Andre.
Alrighty, we're here with Todd Caranto, a great friend of mine, and the two of us have been on road shows and road trips on Sup's behalf for quite a few years.
That's right, yeah.
No, for a few years.
Oh, for a few, yeah, definitely. Yeah. It feels like a few years the last couple of weeks, so a lot of traveling.
I know, I can't believe you guys went all the way.
That's how I sound right now?
Oh. You guys just, hang on there. Hang on there, take a pause.
This is live, right?
Okay, we're live.
We are live.
We're live. This is what we do. This is not a one-man show. This is a magician's trick. All right. So anyway, Todd, we've been traveling for quite a few years. Last week you had quite a week, right? You were up in Utah. You did the Outdoor Retailer Show.
Busy
down
week.
Back to California. Back up here for the event. So
right.
How's your take on this past few weeks? Todd Caranto from Pauhana.
Yeah, it's been really busy, but it's been a lot of fun. I mean, it's good to see the industry out at the Outdoor Retailer and just to watch the sport grow and take its place in the outdoor industry. So it's it's nice to see that it's continuing to grow and that more people are participating and just enjoying being out on the water.
So let me give you a few tips here on the behind of the scenes that you usually don't get to have access to. So first of all, if you get to see a Pauhana flag somewhere around you, you want to make sure you want to run to it. Because why don't you give us first like the inside scoop of what Pauhana means?
So POW is over, HANA's work. So POW HANA's work is over, and it's all about what you do for fun with your friends and family, when your work is done.
So there you go. Good times after work, right? That's kind of the summary. So anyway, if you get to see the flag POW HANA run to, and here's why. Okay, these are going to be some of the most friendly, coolest people you ever meet. And they usually have the best sitting in the house.
Comfortable seats and free hats, so.
That's right. And Michelle and
maybe a few drinks next time. So.
That's right. And Michelle, and what's your younger
Haley.
Haley. So anyway, smiles all around. But let's talk business. So we got a seat right. 2013 season. It's kind of like at its peak. Right. You've got a lot of exciting things coming out in terms of boards. Anything you want to share? Any teaser that you want to put out there?
Yeah, I mean, two really exciting new models I've got coming out is a new yoga board. It's the 10.0 Lotus, and spent a lot of time working on it and consulting with a lot of yoga practitioners, and I think it's going to be really exciting for anybody who practices yoga. It's got a full-length yoga pad that's removable, it's interchangeable, and one of the reasons why it's called the Lotus is connectable. So next year, for a lot of all the POW HANA boards, they have the new C-mount system, which allows you to attach with the nut and screw. You can attach all kinds of things to it. And the Lotus, you can actually put together with multiple bands, and each board forms the petal of a flower. And so a group of yoga can do it together, and you can all stay together. So that's pretty exciting. And then we have a new fishing board coming out, the Big Easy Angler, also equipped with the C-mount system, and it's WaveJet ready. So it actually has some power in it. So you've got a little electric motor in the board, and you can head upwind, drift downwind. You can get from A to B, and there's all kinds of fun attachments. Coolers, water bottle cages, rod holders. There's a lot of stuff you can put it and equip it for any way you want. So that's coming out in 2014, and we're pretty excited about it. And I think people are gonna like to see them. So.
And that's one of the things I hadn't thought of, is the use of WaveJet for sup fishing. And that makes perfect sense, because you're all set up there. You're probably sitting on your cooler, loaded with beer, right? Just having a swell time. Last thing you want to do is maybe like get up. You got your pull up. You could actually do some trolling with the WaveJet.
No, I mean it depends on what kind of fishing you're doing. I mean, you could be in the flats, like in Florida, where it's really shallow. You could be out in the ocean, or in freshwater lakes. So it's configurable for whatever you're doing, it's just a lot of fun to be out there and doing your thing on the water. So.
Another thing too, if you get to hit the rivers, this is one of the most enthusiastic sup river guy that you'll come across. In fact, I think I'm an so surfer, but I'll tell you, I got what was it, the Weber last year or something? I got my butt kicked by Todd. You had like some knee drop techniques.
Those are pretty fun. I'm really digging the whitewater SUP. I mean, they're real short courses, border cross style, 5 guys going down, fun for the spectators to watch. It's just completely different from the ocean, and you're kind of a kook all over again when you're learning to go downriver, but it's definitely a lot of fun, and I get really excited about it and looking forward to doing more of it. And you didn't do half bad either, so you made it a few rounds.
So anyway, one interesting thing that I think you forgot to mention is that with all the attachable apparatus that you got coming up for your 2014 boards, you got a lighting system.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So I partnered with Nakwa 2000. It has the lighting system. We have an attachable system next year, so a couple screws. It goes into the bottom board really easily. But if you haven't been on one, you should try it. Tahoe is great for it. It's crystal clear water. And these things make it look like an aquarium underneath your board. And they're adaptable to any board. They have a harness system, so it doesn't matter what kind of board you have. You can buy the system, put it on, and it's great for night paddling. There's all kinds of sea life. We went out in Hawaii. Second we went out, there's a million fish that zoomed right up to the board. And it's just kind of fun to see all that sea life come and, be a part of what's out there, and they're really fun. So we're going to be going out tonight, taking them out. Anybody who's down by Jake's on the Lake can get on one, try it out. And we have one of them with the WaveJet on it and the light system. So we're going to be powering around like a little glass bottom boat with a light on it. So it should be pretty fun.
So I'm thinking, does that help with fishing? I would think so, right? The fish kind of comes, what's going on here, maybe?
Yeah, you know, we've got a trip planned to the Keys after Surf Expo, and we're going down there. And when you have the lights on, you drift over the reef, and all the lobsters kind of just come out of their holes. And so, like, in a couple minutes, you can have your limit in the basket.
So there you go. You want to make sure you got get set up and hooked up with that wave before it becomes illegal. Because believe me, coming up in California, that board's going to be illegal pretty soon. You're going to go over your lobster quota anytime. So that's the hype right now. Run, get your Pauhana with the lighting system before you end up in jail.
Okay. You eat a few of those lobsters first.
That's right. Go to jail in style, right?
There you go.
All right. Thanks a lot, Todd. And give a big hug to the family there. Jake, by the way, from Pauhana has been helping us out the whole day as well. So the tent is actually provided by Pauhana. So you don't get to see the behind the scenes, but there is a whole, the Sup family, right? Everybody pulling together to make it happen. So we've had great feedback on today's webcast, so you guys stay tuned. There it is, Todd Caranto from Pauhana.
Great, thanks.
All right, thanks, Todd. Now, okay, coming up before we transition, okay, I know that Drew wants to do this. I'll let Drew do a little bit of chatting. He will do his like Lake Tahoe, yap. But then I want to get these guys here on the Dre Spotlight. There you go. But we're going to go back to the commentator's booth here with Drew and Brawley Joy from SIC. So be ready to be full and filled with joy. So let's transition to Brawley Joy and Drew in the commentator's booth.
Thank you, Andre. And I'll tell you, I don't know what he meant by all.
That was a little strange.
Yeah, I don't know what he meant. Maybe he needs some you time. He's missing you or something. He needs some Andre and Brawley time. But hey, I'm joined now with Brawley Joy from Sandwich Island Composites. And you guys got a lot of stuff going on. Brand new board on the water today.
Did pretty good. We're happy about it.
Tell us about that.
It's next year's board. It's coming out January of 2014. We're launching our new X Pro 12, X12 Pro, and X14 Pro race boards. So pretty excited about it. Today was kind of the debut for them. We've had Sunny Hosned in Germany. She's been winning a couple races on them over there too. So real excited. The boards seem to be doing good.
And for a lot of people that are not informed with SIC, tell us about where the company came from, what you guys are specializing in. Kind of give us an overview.
So SIC is founded by Mark Rapphorst, who's a legend coming out of OC1 and windsurfing. About 7-8 years ago, he founded the company, started shaping boards for Laird and Kalama for downwinding, and went from there to really basically dominating everything downwind. So if you ever go to a Maliko race or anywhere in the world where people are running downwind races, everybody in the top 10s on an SIC typically. So Mark he's an amazing shaper. He's a tinker, kind of an Albert Einstein of water movement. So he's been working on the boards, and we partnered up with him. I work for a company called Flow Sports that just acquired SIC, and Mark is totally involved, and we're helping Mark take his brand and his little diamond in the rough, we call it. It's like the unicorn.
Sure.
We're helping him take it global.
And here you guys are, downwinders. You mentioned that becoming more and more. You're seeing more of them in events.
Yeah.
I mean, you're seeing more downwinder events happening all the time. Even here at Lake Tahoe, they're thinking about organizing an event downwinder. So, I mean, all these, like we talk about the quivers of boards that all these athletes have, that's going to be another one to throw in the car.
Yeah. Well, we've got a really unique board in our Bullet 12 and Bullet 11 and the 14. Mark's taken what's really proven kind of out on the water in the open ocean with the 17 and his F16 that are really well proven and winning boards, and taking what he's learned from that and put them into kind of an all-around universal board in our Bullet 11 and Bullet 12. So really fast flat water boards that work really well in all types of conditions.
Well, and that's all that racing's coming up here in September. We're going to have the Battle of the Paddle and whatnot. So
we're really looking forward to that.
What are you going to put George on for that?
You'll have to wait and see. More than likely, he's going to be on the same thing he was on today. It seemed like him and the board worked well together, so we're real happy about that. We're really looking forward to BOP.
We're talking about George Constance, finished first Now, we are having a little bit of a struggle right now with race officials on what happened. What was your take on the ruling there?
My take, I was at the beach and in the tent having people demo in and out, and I saw Jay Wild come in on the OC1 first place, and I'm going, okay, well, I better get my Instagram and everything ready because George should be coming over, next 15 minutes or so behind the OC guys. A couple minutes later, I look out and I go, I think that's George, and everybody started looking, and sure enough, there was Maximus on the unlimited board and George coming in right behind him there, and next thing you know, we won the race. So really excited about it. As far as the everything else going on, I wasn't there. I didn't see it. I've talked to people on the beach and that were out there. They kind of know what happened. I'm happy. Couldn't be prouder, George.
Oh, no matter what the final ruling is with that. I mean, unbelievable. Finished 12th in Battle of the Paddle last year, which I was there to announce. And I mean, you got to be proud of everything he's done for you and your company. Yeah.
Well, George showed up at BOP last year. We just met the day before the race. He jumped on a production board, our first round of production boards that came right out of the factory, and went out there, went head-to-head with all the guys on their custom boards, and ended up finishing 12th. Did really well.
Well, we're really excited to see where that comes in September, and I'll tell you what, congratulations to you and everything you've done.
Thanks a lot.
Today, and we actually have George here, so we'll catch
he's
up
here.
with him. So we'll have a couple words with him here momentarily. And George, you want to shift on over and come in all the way from Tahiti?
Yeah.
Gosh, I wish I could switch places with him.
Don't we all?
George, come on over here.
George.
Thanks, Brawley. Brawley Joy Sandwich Island Composites now joined now with George Constance. Welcome to Tahoe.
Maru.
Very similar to Tahiti, wouldn't you say today?
Yeah.
Very similar day?
Yes, flat and later windy, so with the sun, but too much cold for me here.
Too much cold?
Yeah.
It was a little chilly this morning, wasn't it? Hey, tell us about your race today.
Oh, I do the good race. I give the best what I can and enough, to win the race. So I'm happy.
Yeah, you did. You finished well. Finished 3 minutes and 23 seconds ahead of the second place Chase.
Yeah.
So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Now everybody's talking about the drafting. Did you notice that you were drafting the Trandom out there or anything like that? I mean, the Trandom kind of poo-pooed the idea because they said it was kind of like a neck and neck between you and the three gentlemen that were in front of you.
Yeah, but we try to do my best and to pass them, but they always come back and always like this. They go in the front, I go in the front, they go in the front. So this is a race.
It's a race.
The fight is on the water. It's not on the ground.
I know. I totally agree with you. Where are you off to next? From a competition standpoint.
The next competition, I think, is on the next weekend on the Hood River, the Columbia Gorge, and after on September for the BOP.
Okay.
Yeah.
And talk about the board you were on today.
Oh, I got the amazing board. The new board I get is very, very fast.
Very fast. So you're going to be a top 3 contender for BOP this year.
I hope so.
Yeah, I tell you, everybody's talking about it. George, you kind of raised some eyebrows today here at the Tahoe Nalu. So it'll be really interesting.
Only God knows.
Huh?
Only God knows.
That's true. Only God knows. Well, congratulations for your first place finish today.
Thank you.
And we hope everything works out for you here and when everything kind of weighs in with WPA.
Thank you.
Thanks, George. Look for George. Going to be one of your top contenders in the BOP coming into September. And we're going to go over now to Andre, who is going to have his special moment of time now with Brawley Joy of Sandwich Island Casa. Okay, Andre, now you get your moment.
It's nice to talk to the actual person.
Now see, I heard from Jay that they DQ'd him. According to,
Yeah, I didn't want to say that.
but they said they never came and talked to them.
Oh, they just DQ'd him.
No, but so I don't know. But I mean, it's sad to see a guy come from Tahiti. Especially when he's that far ahead. I mean, nobody was going to catch him.
Kid's a truck, isn't he?
Yeah, nobody was going to catch him. I mean, if it would have just been, him and all the 14s out there racing, he would have won. And that's the sad part. Uh-oh. I was going to say incoming.
Cold. That's the only thing in cold. That's all he said. Cold.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how it's cold.
Yeah. If you live in Tahiti, it's
nothing else matters. It's just
people
cold.
people there don't wear clothes if you don't have to. It's always warm. Beautiful place though. God, what a gorgeous place. I've been to Tahiti, Bora Bora, Moorea, Huahine, and those guys. I mean, they're just those islands are just. I mean, and the people are so nice. There's zero attitude, zero negative. I mean, they don't care if you're from Germany, France, America, Canada. They don't care. They just treat everybody like they're visiting. And it's like when you go to Tahiti, it's not like you're visiting their country. It's like you're visiting their house. That's how they treat you. It's like you ask them directions. They're like, "Oh, follow me," and we'll walk you right to where you're going. Just too nice, man.
That's what I hear. That's what I hear. Beginner's race.
Yeah.
Now you're a cheater.
Yeah. A liar and a cheater, man. We got him today, lying and cheating. Next thing you know, he's going to steal something.
We'll see that when we come out. Catch Andre stealing stuff.
Yeah. Andre's confessed to lying and cheating. Next thing so we're all checking our billfolds now because we think he's going to cheat.
You got your wallet, Bob?
Yeah.
That's what we'll say. You got your wallet? I feel like missing something.
Yeah.
Man, it's a perfect day here, though, I'll tell you.
Man, be glad you're sitting here in the shade. Man, I was out there, talking to people. It's hot. We should be getting ready for the relay pretty soon. Yeah, aggro. Well, no, the thing, we started saying that he's aggro because at our race, I guess was it last year or 2 years ago that he jumped? 2 years ago that he jumped on. So we were at the river, and you came down the river, and then you had to loop around a buoy, so you had to eddy out and go back upriver, and just like a kayak or whatever. And so they were doing some practice runs, and Rojas is coming down around, and Andre's coming, and so Rojas gets ahead of Andre, and Andre jumps over onto Rojas's board, just jumps onto him and knocks him off, and then gets back on his board pallet, and that's what he said, you aggro, you're just going aggro on people, man, too many steroids, you're here. No, they weren't racing, they were just practicing, so, Rojas just like, I mean, if Andre hadn't fallen off, Rojas would have picked the board up with Andre on it and dipped it over. I mean, my favorite thing was 3 years ago when we were at the river, and it was just a BoardWorks demo thing, and so we're out there waiting for the boards, and here's Rojas. He's a competitive swimmer at like Virginia, where I can't remember. I think it was Virginia, or whatever. But he was so the so.
Since this is a one-man show, I gotta go back to the control room and punch a button. So you're hanging there, check out the squirrels.
Another fine shot of a Tahoe willow tree over there. You don't find these everywhere, Bob Reisner. I tell you what.
No.
I'd like to thank our production crew.
Yeah, and this particular one you only find at Kings Beach.
At Kings Beach,
yeah. So it's pretty special.
If you want, we can actually send you a clipping of that, and then you can try to plan it and see if it'll take off where you live.
Yeah, or we can just send you a picture and you can use it as a screensaver.
There you go. Screensaver would be good.
Yeah.
Andre, we were talking about Andre. Let's talk about Andre.
Yeah, let's talk about Andre for a minute.
I guess my interview wasn't good enough because he's like, "Hey guys, come over here," and we had to redo it. It's like, back it up.
Yeah,
and, he actually covered some really pertinent material there, which was, how fine of an athlete he was.
Yeah, no, and he's a great athlete, and it's, I mean, all the way from Tahiti, sea level, comes out here and just really kills it.
That's what's amazing. You think the elevation is a factor. For you and I, it is. But for these trained athletes that have 600 million red blood cells running through their veins, that train every single day, it doesn't seem to be as big of an issue as people make it out to be.
Well, for athletes like, I won't say you and I'll just say I go out there and, you begin to, let the race take over in your mind. And you go out there and, you're halfway through. And, I try not to look at my GPS too much because I don't want to oh, God, I'm only halfway through. I thought the finish line was there. But, these guys, they don't stop until they cross the finish line. And it doesn't make any difference. Their cadence stays the same. They keep their heart rate. A lot of these guys, I don't know if you noticed today, but a lot of the guys leaving the elite paddlers, Thomas Maximus, heart rate monitor. So he's probably running his heart rate. He's probably keeping it about 140 to 150. If I kept my heart rate at 140 to 150, they'd have to have a defibrillator. But
or jumper cables.
Yeah, or jumper cables, exactly. But it's just amazing the training that these guys do and how they can change altitude, change conditions, and just go out there and hammer it. And it's unfortunate, that there's the controversy right now with the protest. And I kind of agree. You kind of want to settle it on the water, but when you have a WPA race, people got to understand that there are a set of rules, and you could be ahead by an hour and a half, but if you violate a rule, even though it wouldn't affect the outcome, it may affect you. So, once again, it's a sad thing. We don't know what the actual outcome is yet. I don't think I've heard.
We don't know anything for sure.
So, it's sad, but, not to take anything away from him, he's a fantastic paddler.
Fantastic paddler, and like I said, last year, Battle of the Paddle 2012, he jumps on a stock board out of the box, basically, a production board.
Yeah.
And goes out and finishes 12th.
Yeah, 12th. That's just amazing. And I watched him last year at BOP, and I can almost guarantee you nobody that was ahead of him in that race was paddling a stock board out of the box. No. Every one of those had a custom board built specifically for them, for their weight, their height, how they paddle. They trained on it. Amazing.
Well, I asked him what his training was. He said skateboarding, and he had the big old cut and bruise and stitches to prove it as he fell yesterday or day before.
I can. I
was like, George, that's got to be in your contract. You can't do that.
I hang out with EJ, and he tried to. He got me on a longboard, and he said, "Oh, it's so easy. Let me show you how to do a tail turn." And I dumped it back, and I still have the scars from that particular endeavor. I still do it, but tail turns those are the things that I leave the EJs of the world.
I'll tell you what, coming up in about 15 minutes, we're going to have our 2 p.m. scheduled for 2. It's going to be pushed back about 2:30, 2:35. The start of the 4-person relay slalom race. We talked to Jay Wild. He calls his team old. Jay's calling himself old.
I don't know. For an old guy, he came in number 1.
That's
so
what I'm saying,
he was probably talking about Byron Kurt.
That's what he was talking about.
I'm sure. I'm really positive he wasn't talking about Anik, his wife.
No. He said she's the anchor.
Yeah, she's the anchor. She's the one that will pull them through.
But that's coming up here momentarily, so we'll get the list of all of our relays. Like we talked about, that's one of my most exciting parts of any SUP event is the relays.
Yeah, it's like the demolition derby of racing, it's not the NASCAR thing, the elite race, but boy, it's out there and there's a lot of fun, a lot of, and with the teams and the changes, things can happen, and, you just never know who's going up against who, and, it's just, it's not carnage, but it's real close.
Yeah, I want one of those propulsion packs from SIC.
Oh, yeah. Wouldn't that be nice?
You and I. Then we could have a relay race. Andre, me, and somebody.
Yeah, we'll get Betsy because we need.
Betsy. We'll get Betsy.
Yeah, we got Betsy. So we got our 4-person relay right here. I wonder if we could do it with headsets. And we could go out there commentating.
Go out there commentating with our propulsion pack. We wouldn't have to paddle.
We could. Yeah, we're not really racing guys. We're just out here having fun. We're just kind of giving we're giving the up close and personal view of this.
I think even Jay Wild said, he goes, I think my wife is a better paddler on all the entire relay team we got coming up. So congratulations to Anika.
Yeah.
Well, big sponsor shout-outs today. Got to give all the love to these guys because these guys make this an event possible and actually make it possible for us to be here.
Exactly.
Quicksilver, GoPro, Jake's. You got Kona Brewing, which if you guys are listening or watching or anybody know anybody there, feel free to text them, tweet them, whatever. I've been tweeting them all morning. I have not seen them come through with my cold beverage.
I think we're a little far away from the happening, but we can probably get one over here.
You might need a defibrillator. I just need a Kona Brewer. How's that, folks? North Lake Tahoe, Sup the Mag, Tahoe TV, UGG footwear. And then you got Boardworks, Ocean Minded, YOLO Board, Pahana. We just talked with them. And you got SIC, obviously, Glide Sup, Slingshot, WakeJet, FCS, Starboard, and BIC. And plenty of other volunteers that make this event go. And talking about the weather right now, as we see people kind of coming in off the water, we're seeing that breeze kicked up about 8 to 10 like they predicted.
Just like they predicted. And it should be a little more fun. Makes it a little more fun for the relay race.
You got to get those races in, those distance races in early like they did this morning. It was perfect conditions, like George just said, from SIC. And now they're going to see a little bit of that south wind come in. But it's still not bad whatsoever.
Yeah, but
the water's still just
it's still nice. And, and the other thing is they're not going to have to do, anything up and down. So they're not going to be doing a bunch of side paddling, So it should be a lot of fun.
I'll tell you what, the relay as a whole, it's just straight out, put your head down. I didn't hire you from the shoulders up. I hired you from the shoulders down to get out there and paddle.
Well, yeah, it's a sprint race. I mean, it's just, it's multiple sprint races, one right after the other. And you go out there and you paddle as hard as you can. And, you're going to see, the choke down grip. You're going to see, Connor Baxter, kind of brought us all to into that camp of choking down on that paddle to get that quick sprint out. And, a lot of these guys will be doing that at least to the first buoy because they're going to, and it works. It's tough on the back, but, boy, you can get some speed fast.
It's true. That's all coming up here momentarily here from beautiful Kings Beach here on the North Shore of Lake Tahoe. It's the 7th annual Tahoe Nalu here, and it's just a beautiful day. And I'll tell you what, Bob Reisner joining me in the booth. We're going to take a quick break. Don't forget to tweet us if you want with any questions, comments, concerns. If you want a Kona brewer, tweet us. You can send one out to you. I don't know. We can try.
Do you want us to ask Andre anything? I mean, he's already confessed to lying earlier, and then did he say he cheated before?
Yeah, just keep your wallet close.
Hey, you know what? When he pulled in today, he didn't have the $10 to park, and I loaned it. I'll bet he's advanced to stealing now. I'll bet he's advanced to stealing. Hey, check your wallet. I think my mic just went dead.
I don't have my wallet. What happened?
I think my mic just. my mic just went dead.
What's the currency in Brazil?
What is the Brazilian currency?
Guys, got to remember, I push all the buttons here, so you better be careful.
We're gonna start talking like Minnie Mouse here in a second.
Yeah. That Andre's a really great guy. He would never lie, cheat, or steal.
Well, I know. You know what? All kidding aside, we have to give Supconnect.com and Andre huge accolades for everything they do. I've worked numerous events with Andre. He's always out there. And like today, doing it himself.
Yeah, he's here by himself.
Of 17 different men and 4,700 different normal people. So, Andre, congratulations and thank you for all your hard work.
Thank you, Drew. And Drew is actually making this day go very well, especially with Bob here and Betsy. What you guys don't know on the other side of the screen is that he takes a lot of volunteers and just love for SUP.
Yeah.
Because, we don't have the huge crew of like a regular webcast, and Drew just stepped in, Bob and Betsy, and we're rounding up everyone here, and he definitely makes it for a better webcast experience on your end, and also more pleasant here on my end. So thank you.
Whatever we can do for you, Andre. Just give Bob his $10 back, will you? You might get it.
All right, let's go to a commercial break on that note, okay?
All right.
You're watching the Quicksilver Tahoe Nalu Paddle Festival at Kings Beach in North Lake Tahoe.